Hi guys, this is James Kwan again, and I'm a youth leader for Special Olympics. As we learned in the previous video, co-leadership is about making up for another's weakness with your strengths. Together you'll be more powerful and efficient. We also learned the four components of co-leadership. Those are accountability, equity, partnership, and ownership. The goal is to put these four components together so that you'll become a more effective and powerful co-leader. If we go through the guidebook, after the introduction and goals, it starts off with a pre-activity. Simply what this is that the facilitator of this pillar will give the given chart to participants to get a feel for the group. What I mean by this is that they might want to know where each audience member is at with regards to how comfortable they feel with their given strengths. The facilitator should also complete the chart beforehand to know to get a feel for how their presentation is going to go. Moving on, the first activity is called Getting Close. What this entails is that everyone in the audience will get up, hold hands, and try to pass a hula hoop around them. That's the goal. And this exhibits co-leadership because it requires the individual strengths of each person to build up in order to achieve this common goal. After this activity is accomplished, we'll ask a series of reflection questions. For example, these will regard on what challenges we face and what we did well that we can celebrate. So, specifically for this activity, we'll focus on the four components of co-leadership. So the questions to be asked could be, for example, how did one exude partnership in working with the people around them to achieve this goal? Or another one, how is one exhibiting ownership in doing something well? Maybe they had like a sweet move to like get through the hoop or whatever. Or maybe they somehow they broke the link and they're also exhibiting ownership for that. Whatever the case is, through reflection, we can see what we did well and what we need to work on for the next time. The next activity is called Drawing Through Listening. So in this case, the facilitator has a drawing pre-drawn. It can be anything really. It's your choice. It can be like a giraffe, or it can be like you can draw these bag of banana chips, like whatever it may be. They have a drawing pre-drawn. So then the facilitator divides the audience into two groups. One group of listeners and one group of explainers. So one of the listeners and one of the explainers will pair, and so there will be X amount of pairs. So what the explainers do is they try to explain the pre-drawn drawing to the listener, and then the listener tries to actually draw what it'll look like. Obviously, there will be very many listeners. Did you feel maybe a little frustrated in that you didn't get to see the original poster? Any of these questions can lead to reflection so that we can celebrate what we did well, and so that we can improve on what we feel needs work. Now that we've gone through both of the activities, we have to do an overall session reflection. What this is going to regard is that you're gonna ask yourself a series of questions. For example, like, what did you learn from this session? These are for the participants. What strengths have you solidified? What do you think you need to work on? With regards to the four components of co-leadership, you can ask yourself, in the future, how are you going to make solid partnerships? How are you going to take ownership for your responsibilities? How are you going to be accountable? And how are you going to ensure equity in doing all these different things? These are just things to think about, food for thought. And in